Hello and welcome to the GrapeSEED Official Podcast. We have a new series for you today. I'm sure that you have noticed in a lot of our interviews the name MeySen Academy mentioned. If you have been teaching GrapeSEED for a long time, you might also remember that some of the materials were named after MeySen in the past. MeySen Academy is a wonderful school in Sendai, Japan, with 2 large campuses. They are a kindergarten during the day, and then in the afternoons and evenings, elementary school students and even older students come for GrapeSEED lessons. Locally and even nationally, they are known for their high-quality education and their beautiful campuses. MeySen teachers are also very carefully chosen and are very dedicated individuals. In this new podcast series, we will talk with different MeySen staff members, sometimes teachers, sometimes management. There'll be practical teaching ideas shared, as well as inspiring stories. Through this series, you will certainly be able to feel what makes this place so special. First up on this series, we have Patricia Bermudez, who I have known over many years. She's a great teacher and a wonderful person. So without further ado, welcome to the podcast, Patricia.
Thank you, Adam. Hello there, everyone.
So let's start with some basic information. How long have you been at MeySen, and what is your current role, and what are you teaching right now?
Okay, so I've been at MeySen since 2013, and I work for the Premier School Department at MeySen. So it's basically where the children are immersed in the English language. And when we teach kindergarten, it's different from other schools or other departments because the children come there with where they have to speak English for the most part with only like a 40-minute Japanese class. And so I teach the 5 and 6-year-old children there.
Yeah, so just for clarity, MeySen has 2 different programs. One, kind of the normal course for kids where they go and it's mostly Japanese for them throughout the whole day with one 40-minute GrapeSEED lesson. But Premier, which you teach, it's the kind of the opposite, where kids have English all day with the one Japanese lesson.
Yes, and with that too, we have this center-based learning. So we call them stations. It's basically for 40 minutes where the children have small group activities basically to reinforce the GrapeSEED curriculum. So in those center-based learning, we have stations like listening where they listen to the unit that we're learning. We have writing, we have games where they have to use the language to be able to communicate with their peers.
So this is another 40-minute session kind of outside of the normal GrapeSEED time.
Yes. So it's basically just the extra English exposure.
I hear you also teach 7th grade students now?
Yes, I do. The fun thing is that because I've been here for almost 8 years, the 7th grade students were my first kindergarten kids.
Oh, wow. So you have the memories going all the way back.
Oh, yeah. It's been really fun to just, see them from when they were little up to now where they can actually express their opinions.
Yeah, and seeing them grow and mature, it's really a special thing. I know that when I was teaching junior high school up in the northern part of Japan, I would see my students many years later after they graduated high school, and it was just amazing to see how they've matured and how far they've come. So I can imagine that for you as well, starting with such little ones all the way up to 7th grade now.
Yeah, and it's also been nice to just see them grow in the years that I've been here, just seeing how their language has improved from, the all Japanese up to them speaking in simple sentences and now being able to just share their thoughts and feelings and just giving their thoughts and feelings without me asking them, which is really good too.
Yeah. So basically when you get your students in the beginning, they're typically Japanese born kids and Japanese home environment. So they come to MeySen immersion school with very little English usually, and you have to kind of build that from the ground up, right?
Yes.
Perfect. So do you have a favorite GrapeSEED material?
My favorite is Unit 10.
Okay, Unit 10?
Yeah, it's the one with the colors and the time and the shapes. And it's just because I have a background in elementary education and special education back in America.
Okay.
So I always loved teaching science and math. And in Unit 10, you're able to integrate a lot of things, like with shapes, you're able to talk about math or being able to tell time, or even social studies. Rude Kitty. To be honest, I didn't like Rude Kitty at first. But, like once I started looking at it from a different perspective, I was able to, be able to teach my kids that, like the difference between mansions in America is different from like mansions here in Japan, because mansions here in Japan basically means like you living in
apartment building,
an apartment building. But in America, you have all like the lavish houses with the pool and the tennis court. And so I was able to just show them the difference when we say mansion, like in the song, it doesn't mean like the mansions that they live at, or even then like the difference between a city and the city cat and the country cat.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to tell them the difference between a city and a countryside. So I like that about that unit.
Yeah, it's interesting that you bring up that material in particular. We had a teacher from Osaka on recently who mentioned that exact same thing, that he initially didn't like Rude Kitty when he started teaching it. And then as he taught it, he really started to grow to like it. And he mentioned that specific mansion example as well, with that language difference between English and Japanese. So it's amazing how similar your experiences are.
Goodbye, my friends, goodbye. I'm sad to say goodbye. It was a good day, but now I will say goodbye, my friends, goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.